think my first contract was a really good contract, right? Because I was discounted, I was in the right direction, and then I was able to already lock it in for one, right? But I ejected myself right here. I think two different contracts. I ejected myself right here. I gained about $48, right? And then, but from here to here, the last like 2/3, the last 2/3, um, I kind of just did a bunch of little stuff here and there, and I slowly started decreasing. But I was still able to hang on to about $8, $7, $8 of my profit, right? So, but then I took my last contract, right, to hang overnight based on my theory, and I'm down because it pumped up, right? My theory is for it to go down even more. Okay, so here's a discounted contract, right? It's a long position. No, wait, it's a short position, but the short position's at 7:55. I mean 7:30, 7:45. So technically, it needs to crash about $5 overnight. $5 at 7:50. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's right. So it's a little bit under 1%. So it'd be like point zero 0.07 or something. Point zero 0.07. No, point 0.7. 7.7. 0.7%. $5. So we need to crash 0.7%, guys, which is more than today's. Oh, on my end. This is on my end. 0.7%. Yeah. So like see how here, right? 0.6 is about 0.7%. I could just look up here. This is about $5 right here. 0.7%. I did all that in my head, guys. Do I have a big head? No, I don't know. Anyways, whatever. But anyway, so yeah. Um. Okay, so I was just every time I hit the VWAP, I was trying to get in, or the. So this is like the standard deviation of the VWAP, right? So the VWAP's right here, right? So especially it was right here, right? Every time I hit the VWAP, I was like, oh, it's crashing, boom. I got in. I tried to get it. Got it over here. I was like, nah, I might go over. And then I got pulled out. And then I got back in over here, right? And I think I pulled out, got me some gains from my crash. I think I crashed like, somewhere right here, right? And then yeah, I got back, got some gains back, you know, because I did crash all the way down right here to the bottom. You see that bottom right here? And then I gained back up. I should have just kept my earnings that was right here, right there. If I made about 18%, that's a good like 15 to $20 back, right? And then I cut out like right here, like there. It was like lower than that. Yeah, like 8% or something like that. And I think when you reflect on how things work and how things people move and how this thing moves to to take out positions, people positions, then you begin to understand where you need to be along the price line. You know what I mean? And then after that, you'll be able to kind of know what you're doing, right? At the least, you have to at least know something. You know what I mean? You can't go in there blind. You know what I mean? So yesterday, the good thing about today is this is where I'm gaining, right? My equity on my ETF contract. I mean security, um JEPI, right? I'm accumulating this ETF is is 2 point something shares, right? So yesterday I was at 1.6. So I was able to buy more of this, right? I was able to gain positive on my overall thing, and I'm growing my account. You know what I mean? So today was not a bad day. It could have been worse, but we're able to see the positive in what we did today. But yeah. Other than that, I have nothing else today. Tomorrow, prepare for something major. I'll be looking forward to my overnight contract here, and hopefully, if it. So okay, so the reason why I'm trying this out is because if this is correct, right? Because when you do swing trading, you have to make a lot of assumptions all the time, right? It's called speculative trading. You know what I mean? You're trading based on the events of the future, and you have to guess what those events are, right? And I made a decisive choice to take on this contract mental note myself. I don't like to swing trade anymore, just because then I have an opportunity to do daily trading now without having a big account. But um, so I'm only doing this just to test out my theory. My theory is tomorrow they're gonna take out all the contracts at around the 745 area on the price line of the spot. So if that's the case study of that experiment is true, then we should wake up tomorrow with some some gains, right? But if it's not true, I'm expected to lose $28. You know what I mean? Or whatever I can pull out tomorrow in the morning, right? Because if I hang on to something that's out of money, halfway through the day, might as well just give it all to them. You know what I mean? Maybe save a couple bucks. But um, but if that's not the case, then and my predicted scenario was true, then I should be able to wake up, right? But if tomorrow's true and my contract still expires to a net loss, then I'm something's wrong because I'm reading the contract wrong. Maybe the delta or the data on the variable um, did something to the contract to where I couldn't foresee the fastness of how it moved overnight. You know what I mean? Because I'm not in range. Right? When you're not in range, the data. Okay. Well, let me ask ChatGPT. I'll just make sure we have a good understanding real quick of what Greek symbol to determine the decay. What is the Greek symbol in stock trading to determine time decay?
Looking that up now. Do you mean doji? That's a candlestick pattern where the open and close prices are almost the same, signaling indecision, and sometimes
Stop.
a reversal. If that wasn't it, can
Stop.
you spell
Yes.
the term for
Okay. So I wanted to know in options contract trading whether which Greek symbol symbolizes time decay.
checking? In options trading, time decay is theta.
Data.
The
Okay.
rate
Thank you.
of theta.
Yeah. So data. So if data did something to my contract and um, overnight, but the market still crashes 745, then I assumed the way data works is wrong. You know what I mean? Um, because it might have, let's say, it might have. I would assume data would increase, right? I don't want to ask ChatGPT. Yeah, it might have changed drastically versus not change at all, right? Because I'm assuming if I'm in the money, data doesn't really change. Actually, it does change if I'm out of range, right? So I have to be within range and in the money. Yeah, and within range is usually like within a dollar value. That's within range. You know what I mean? So yeah, but if it gets closer, but not close enough. See, that's the issue too, right? So I'm just hoping it will go closer, and my data it still has some strength to keep me positive, right? That's why I'm gonna cut it as soon as I wake up tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But anything above 740 or 750, that's when I bought it, right? 749 maybe ish. I'm expecting to lose um, that $28 waking up tomorrow morning. So it needs to at least go down 748 for me to have a good test, and then 747 even better, 746 even better, and then 745 is the best, and then 744 it's the ultimate TP take profit. You know what I mean? So that's what we're aiming towards, guys. Anyways, I think that's my time for today. I promised to get on, and I did, and that's all I can um, produce for you guys. Um, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Probably, um, or any theories, you know what I mean? Um, let me know too, and I'll try to engage. I'm not sure if I like um, public scrutiny, but anyways, all right. Thanks for joining me, guys, on Daily Trades by Rin. Today is 7/16/2026. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.